Look, I'm in this beautiful rainforest and there's just so much nature around.
Oh my god, they cut it all down!
And there's no money! Welcome to Burundi, a small country in Central Africa surrounded by the African Great Lakes. It's a nation that's been around for a long time and has kind of been through it. Way back in the 1500s, the Kingdom of Burundi was founded and mainly focused on agriculture and trade. This is a period where we'll begin to see an important distinction that will later destroy the country. It's during this time that we see the creation of two different tribes, the Hutus and the Tutsis. Now, during colonization, the two groups were differentiated based off height and facial features, but at its core, Tutsis are a minority group that focuses on the herding of livestock, while the majority of Burundi's population are Hutus who dedicate themselves to agriculture. The two groups got along well, but that all changed in 1884 when the main European powers met in Berlin to split up Africa. Burundi became a colony of the German Empire, but it directly bordered both British and Belgian colonies. Border violence constantly plagued the area and development was limited. The German colonizers began to put members of the Tutsi minority in positions of power and began to impose de facto segregation. Foreshadowing. During World War I, British and Belgian soldiers invaded and the colony came under the control of Belgium. And after World War II, Burundi became a trustee of the United Nations, gaining its independence in 1962 as the Kingdom of Burundi. The kingdom was a constitutional monarchy that popularly elected Prince Rwagasore with 80% of the popular vote, and then he was assassinated. As a result, his father, King Mwambutsa, came to power and pushed for the Tutsis and Hutus to have peace. Even though the king was a Tutsi, he appointed a Hutu prime minister, who then got assassinated. I think I'm starting to notice a trend. And at this point, the new king can't make anybody happy. His old Hutu prime minister is now dead, so he brings in a Tutsi prime minister instead. But the majority Hutu people are now angry and begin to riot in the streets and attempt a coup, which is crushed because the army is controlled by the Tutsis and led by a man named Michel Mikombero. This is really confusing. Oh, just wait. King Mwambutsa gets overthrown in a coup, and then his son gets overthrown as well. Michel Mikombero seizes power as a military dictator and carries out a genocide against the Hutu majority. In all, over 200,000 Hutu people are killed. After the genocide, unrest remained high in the country, with coups occurring in 1976, 1987, and 1996. And a civil war breaks out in 1993 and lasts until 2005. Over 300,000 Burundians are killed in the ensuing civil war. By the time that the war has ended, instability has been raging in the country for over 40 years. Hundreds of thousands of people are dead and the country is in ruins. Today, Burundi still viciously struggles with the effects of decisions made before, during, and after the colonial period. Reconciliation between the Hutu and Tutsi peoples will be hard, but it has to happen or Burundi will collapse. That's because today, Burundi is the poorest nation on earth. Its people rely on agriculture to stay alive. Over 90% of Burundians farm, and almost all of them only grow enough food for themselves. Because of this, Burundi has no real exports and very limited pathways for growth. Its resources have been drained through years of exploitation and colonization, and its forests have been destroyed by farming. The average GDP per capita in Burundi is around $500 per year, but this doesn't even tell the full story. Most estimates believe that the average Burundian makes around $100 a year from working. Even if the average Burundian can make this much money in a year, they don't have anywhere to save it. The country lacks any major financial institutions, and only 2% of Burundians have a bank account. All of these challenges are huge, but the root can be found in hunger. A lack of nutrition makes a population vulnerable to various diseases and makes progress even harder. According to the World Food Program, around 60% of Burundian children suffer from malnutrition. Now, this is usually the part of the video where I tell you all the important places to visit in the country. This time, instead of visiting, you can help support the people of Burundi by donating to the World Food Program's mission in Burundi. This will help provide important nutrition to those who need it most. A link to donate will be down in the description. And if you made it all the way to the end of this video and want to learn more about all the great countries in our world, make sure to subscribe to catch our next trip to the islands of Cabo Verde.